Hello, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes to come in and share with you the message that had come in this morning from you from my guides in regards to um, navigating current energies. So, the energies that we may be feeling at this moment, and if it's not exactly this moment, it may have just occurred for you or may be right around the corner to occur for you. So essentially, we may feel this sense of floating, of elation, of almost like we're out of body, and we will want to ground, and it just feels like I just need to ground in. I need to ground in. I'm like I'm floating up, and everything seems like there's a lot coming in, a lot of high energy around me, and I just need to ground. And the message that they had that my guides had shared with me is allow yourself to feel the floating and let the higher energy grab a hold of you. So we're letting ourselves float. We're feeling all of that. We're breathing into it and allowing it to take place and enjoying the expanded feeling, enjoying that we're floating, and then we'll be caught and grabbed a hold by a higher energy, and we'll feel like, okay, so now there's been this net, this safety net of this higher energy that has grabbed a hold of me. And then what will occur is you will then turn around and see or have a feeling of it may feel like you've been dropped, or all of a sudden now you're feeling this lower emotion or this heavier frequency running through you, maybe a thought pattern or behavior or a way that you've been. And so once you've been caught by the higher energy, you're going to be able to see this lower frequency that has been in your experience. And now you have the opportunity to release that. So releasing doesn't have to be cumbersome and difficult and is hard, and we've have confined ourselves cringing, goodness, oh my goodness, here we go again. It doesn't need to be like that at all. In fact, it's actually what we're learning how to do is navigate these changes, the evolution, with ease. Energies are coming in fast, they're coming in strong, and so we have the opportunity to call in our guides, to feel into that, to remind ourselves of the higher energy and feel back into the higher energy. Now we're making this choice. We're using our free will to make the choice of moving back into that higher feeling of the high frequency, acknowledging the lower frequency, and then asking our guides for support, our higher self and spirit for support, to go ahead and just release that. And when we release that, we're just viewing it. We're knowing it's not us. It's no longer us. It's being removed from our experience. And we can literally simply ask, show me how easy this can be. Show me how easy it is. So as humans, we're used to things because we live in a matrix where everything is static and concrete and textile. We can find ourselves expecting that type of experience through our expansion, where we have this sense of, okay, finally I made it, and now I can sit here and I can write out the rest of my days in this comfortable feeling. Well, it does get more comfortable. That's absolutely true. And it does get easier and easier. But the only sense of made it is, and where you can take comfort in the relaxing into, is the knowing now, by using the tools that we've been given over the last couple of years, especially been navigating our emotions, that now I have the ability to view what I don't want my experience, look at how I do want my experience. And I'm talking an emotional, a visceral experience, okay? So emotionally, I'd rather not feel heavy in this way. Emotionally, I'd rather feel lighter this way. So we're being given this pretty quickly, like, wow, I'm floating. boom, I'm dropped. Wow, I'm floating. Boom, I'm dropped. And we can stabilize in that, in these higher frequencies, and keep moving ourselves up, more and more expanded, quicker and quicker, as we ask for the ease and the grace in this. And this is where our guides come in really handy. Our guides, when we're making a conscious connection with them, when we're having a relationship with them, um, it's about knowing that there's someone there that's holding space for you by seeing you of the authentic version of yourself. So what I mean by holding space is they don't see you any different than, and they hold this knowing of you, and they're transmitting that energy towards you, constantly. But when you have this conscious connection with them, you can more easily, accept and feel that. I know that my guides see me as a light being, see me as an evolved conscious being. And yet I have this experience with this human body where I can get lost in the density and um, the darkness of the matrix and feel lost and confused. And they're over here in perfect clarity, seeing you for exactly who you are, the being that chose to come into human form, and they're holding that space for you. So having a connection with them and having open dialogue with them for their support will more easier bring in, the view of yourself, so you can see yourself more easily as that higher dimensional being, that higher consciousness that chose to come into human form. And then it's easier for you to gravitate and move in that direction. So essentially we're being lifted up with these higher energies. This is the evolution, or this is the expansion. This is the density that's now being, the light's being shined on it, so that it can move. This is no longer serving you, and I choose this rather than that. Guides help me out, and they come in and they stand there in solitude with you, with the higher dimensional aspect of you that's calling you forward. And you ask, show me how easy this can be. Show me how easy it is. Now, because we are in an, an an intensified evolutionary period on this planet, it can feel like we're in the river, we're floating down the river, and yet we're being tumbled into, the current, right? And tumbling through really rapidly, and then just coming back up for air, and tumbling through rapidly. Now, again, this is going to continue. This will always continue, and you're always going to be evolving. You didn't come here to have a static life. You didn't come here to be, sedentary. You came here to have an expansive journey, and this is an expansive journey within, and then gets to be, enjoyed externally. But this journey within of stabilizing these energies one after another, is where we're at right now, learning how to do this. So we're learning how to create that joy, to expect the joy, to know that the joy is the natural us, and moving past. Now, what we see as joyful, and not saying that it isn't, what we see as joyful, and what we're moving to and rising to, the expanded version of ourselves, that too is going to shift. Again, you're an always continually evolving being, always. So the only comfort that we're looking for is knowing that we have the ability to navigate this. That's the I've made it. That's the only I've made it, is I've got the tools, and I can stabilize in the next frequency, and stabilize in the next frequency, and stabilize in the next frequency. But you're always, 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 always. And now, of course, like I said, because we're in an intensified expansion, on this planet, it's happening faster and faster and faster, and more and more and more and more and more and more and more. So this is a huge gift to be here. It's an honor to be on this journey. If you were able to see from their perspective of what it looks like that you're accomplishing for yourself and for the universe, for this planet, for humanity, for our brothers and sisters in the stars, I mean, it just radiates out. Just everything that you're doing just radiates out, and the universe is now expanding in a, has more support and expanding through divine love. Now, contrast is important because everything in the universe is spinning, so we have polarities, negative and positive, negative and positive, negative and positive. But it's your perspective of what is negative that can make it so dense. So rather than holding on to that was bad, that was negative, finger pointing, blaming, resentment, and judging others, judging ourselves. So this is supporting the expansion in that polarity. But what we're looking to do as light beings is know that we are beings of light. We're highly intelligent. We're conscious, and we enjoy seeing the universe. Or our role is supporting the universe in her evolution, in evolving through divine love um, and expanding in that way. So there's no reason to judge a frequency that isn't divine love, because again, polarities are play a vital role in the expansion, and we get to learn from them, and we get to grow. Everything is growing from the polarities. So we do want to practice neutrality for ourselves, um, because we're practicing neutrality for ourselves, um, because that gives us the ability, that opens us up personally on an individual level. When you choose to be in a neutral space, you are able to then choose the direction of where your next step is or your next feeling is. So you're able to, instead of react, you're responding um, towards what you want to experience. Better said would be, you're opening yourself up through neutrality and not placing judgment, so that you can focus on what you do want. Okay? So neutrality is simply giving you the space to no longer make judgment and waste your energy on what you don't want. And by letting everybody have their experience, including you've had your experience and you continue to have your experience, and you don't judge it, you just feel your way into what you prefer and allow everybody else to do the same. And now you're able to respond in a way that's for your highest good and for your highest outcome along your highest timeline. Okay, that's why we practice neutrality. That's why we let go of judgment. That's why we let go of label. Because when we have judgment and we have label, we're holding on to everything that if you're focused on something enough to make an opinion and a judgment, you're focused enough on it to perpetuate it. What do you want to perpetuate? Where do you want the expansion of your life to go? Because it is expanding and you're always supported. Do you want to be supported through love? We've created through mayhem and misery and suffering. We know what that looks like. Now we have all of the support available to us in a much stronger way than ever before to choose to create from love. And so feeling what you love and moving in that direction and paying no attention to anything that you prefer not to experience. And then this shines the light, shines more light, shines more light, shines more light. So the polarity that we always have in the universe, it's not as dark and heavy on this planet as it was before. And that's the evolution of human consciousness, the evolution on this planet, of the experiences that are available on this planet. We're moving then to 4D, 5D, 6D, beyond, right? By simply moving with the experience of moving towards what we prefer and paying no attention, and making judgment on what we'd rather not be in our experience. And this will eliminate it. If we're not judging it, there's no place for it. If we're not focused on it, there's no place for it. Right? It's all of humanity coming into experience really heavy emotions and really heavy, dense experiences. People came in, you came in, those before you came in to have that, um, the opportunity to know what that's like. And now that's no longer being supported. We're now moving into a balance between the feminine and the masculine, right? And we do that by feeling our way, right? We're feeling our way into our new creation. That's a balance right here. So the feminine is going to feel it, and the male is going to create it physically. And so we're doing this. We're feeling our way towards what we choose, and we're creating from that space rather than creating from a space of harshness and misery and suffering. So anyway, so just remember to call in your guides, to constantly ask them, how easy can this be? Show me how easy it is. This is what I rather not experience anymore, and this is where I don't want to be anymore. I like the way that feels. I'm going to go ahead and fly. I'm going to feel expanded, and I'm going to let myself rise, and I'm going to let those higher energies catch me, and I'm going to let this go. And I've got all the support that I need. I was designed for this. When the universe, keep in mind and remember, when the universe is creating itself and it said, what do I need next? It created you when your soul was birthed. And the same thing took place when it's time, as we're populating the planet and choosing to come in. The energy said, the intelligence, the consciousness of the planet said, what's next? What do I need next? What's going to best help me next? And what's going to best help the soul that comes down here, the spirit that comes down here. So it's a win-win for everybody. Higher consciousness is always about win-win. And so when Earth made her call of who do I need, who's going to be the best fit for both parties involved, you were chosen. You were chosen because you have everything that it takes to be here and to do this. Your guides know that. And deep down, you know that. And maybe that's coming up, and that's awesome. And you're seeing that more and more every day. And the fact that you're seeing that more and more every day is awesome. And you get to be it. You get to be it without making excuse, without defending yourself, without, having power over somebody else. You simply get to be it. You simply get to move towards experiences that you love in form. So remember that you're loved. Remember that you were chosen. And remember that you're extremely important. I love you. Source loves you. Your guides love you.